to the show that's all about celebrating, empowering, and encouraging the girl child, women in all our facets. I'm REA, your host. Now, recently there have been talks of abortion being legalized in Botswana, and this has brought about a lot of conversations, whether it be in combis, at dinners, at parties. This has been something that we have been talking about. And today in studio, I have with me a beautiful young woman by the name of Mpule Kgetsi, who is an activist as well as a worker at Social Dialogue. Welcome to the show.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
I know you do a lot of social work, right? Tell us a bit more about that before we talk about abortion.
Okay, I'm an activist, I'm an advocate, right? But right now I'm employed at Social Dialogue Organization. It's a newly operational NGO. I work as a manager for programs, curriculum, and training.
Yeah.
So we do social marketing, communications, behavior change, and a bit of strategy in that.
Now, what makes abortion such a passion for you?
So as an activist, I'm mostly a sexual reproductive health and rights activist.
Yeah.
So what we're all about is that sexual reproductive health is about, women having their sexual and reproductive self-determination. That is the right to decide when, they engage in sexual activities, when they have kids, and how to have those kids, how many kids to have. So when you're talking about those issues, you're talking about, family planning, you're talking about HIV and AIDS, you're talking about contraception, you're talking about abortion.
Yeah.
So that's where my passion for abortion stems from.
And what is your stance on abortion?
My stance, I believe I'm pro-choice. I believe that everybody should have the right to decide what to do with their bodies, including to decide whether or not to have a child. So I am pro-choice.
Why pro-choice?
Why not? Because it's usually pro-choice versus pro-life. I've never really understood, the reasoning behind pro-life arguments. So I believe that, like I said, where my rights end, another person's rights begin. So everybody should decide when the right time is. It also speaks to the issue of the right to privacy. You as REA deserves for your privacy to be respected. Same with me, so I cannot intrude on your rights. I cannot encroach upon your rights, so yeah. So everybody has a right to choose what they want.
But then one could say, like you're saying, one's rights start and then someone else's rights end, right? And someone can say, but that baby who's living inside of you, they also have rights to life.
They might have a right to life, but remember, if you are having two people to choose from, you have the life of the mother versus the life of the child. So pro-life, people who argue for pro-life usually say, okay, fine, the life of the child should prevail, over the life of the mother for some reason. I've never understood that argument. But I'm saying, you know what? I have a person who's in front of me here, right? Who has a body. That baby is inside their body. And, until that baby is born, until that baby has, breathes their own air on their own without depending on the mother's body, then the mother gets to decide what to do with, you understand? So it's her body, it's her choice.
Okay, so are you saying then, before there is a life, before the baby is breathing and, it's actually a little person, then it's okay. But once the person is there in 8 months, 7 months, how do you feel about that?
Even scientifically, it's actually very dangerous to have an abortion at an advanced stage like that. So usually, it's okay to have them at like maybe 20 weeks, right about there, because that's when you get to decide. You should have decided during that time that, I don't want to, to have a child. But you also have instances where there are some countries that make it like strictly that you cannot, even at a later stage, even when it endangers your life at 8 months, you cannot have an abortion at all, because we don't allow it. You get it. There are countries like that, but I feel like that is not on.
But Mpule, what about the fact that a child is a lot of money? There's school fees to be thinking about, all of these things. And when somebody gets pregnant, they can decide to go, you know what? I have all these other costs, I can't incur them. Whose decision is it to abort? What if I want to abort, but my partner doesn't want me to abort?
It's the decision of the mother in other countries like South Africa, for example. So you don't need consent from anyone. You understand? You don't need to get consent from anybody. Even at the clinic, you don't need to have anybody sign, right? But in Botswana, where it is done only under certain conditions, the mother still is the one who has to consent, you know. And then you only have other instances where, like, parents, your guardian, or somebody you're in local parentis with, like somebody you have that child, the person you conceived that child with, you know, that's when they can. Only if you're unable to give consent yourself, understand? That's when they can fish it, but it's a decision of the mother.
So, okay, wrapping up, I want to ask one last question. Say Botswana does legalize abortion. How will that contribute to the lives of Botswana?
You know, right now, with the state of unemployment, with the state of, like, with the recent, you know, the intergenerational, transactional sex stories that are coming up, I feel like it will help because people won't be forced to do, you know, what they don't want to do, what they're not ready to do. Also, it'll help because you find that most children are born into poverty, you know, because their parents were not ready, and now instead of focusing on other things, you're now focusing on raising your child, focusing, you know, even, I think that, not even I think, there's a study that shows that crime rates and, you know, crime rates actually are affected by, you know, the legalization of abortion. So you find that you want to raise this child, so as a young man, you have to do something, right? You don't have a job, so you go and steal, you go and engage in, you know, illicit activities so that you can make money to come and raise your child. But if you don't have such pressures, then, you know, we wouldn't have, you know, high rates of crime and, you know, children being born into poverty, that type of thing. So generally, I think the lives of Botswana would be improved, you know, because right now, it's not that it's not happening, REA. It is happening, but it's only happening where? In their backyards, you know. You know, if a person does go through with a pregnancy, but they're gonna end up throwing the baby into the pit latrine or something. So you want people to have safe abortions. So I think their lives would be, you know, safer, and their health would be insured, you know.
Okay. Well, that's your stance.
That is my stance.
And I believe, you know, a lot of people definitely heard you. And if anyone was a bit confused, they didn't know, okay, are they for, are they against? You definitely did bring a lot of perspective to the abortion stance. We're going to continue this conversation on abortion in just a bit. This is REA Online. Don't go anywhere. It's REA Online. Welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, today we're talking about abortion. And sitting next to me is a brave young woman who was just so strong enough to come and share her story with us. Now, she's chosen to be anonymous, so we'll just refer to her as Lebo. Lebo, thank you so much for coming on the show. We know that this is not an easy thing to talk about. So just tell me, you were 18 when you fell pregnant.
Yes.
What happened exactly?
Basically, I saw the signs I'm pregnant. So, because I know in my family, basically, people have had kids at a young age. So I didn't think abortion would ever become an option. Though there's always that fear of telling your parents at 18 that I'm pregnant. So basically, my doctor found out that I was pregnant and she called my mom.
And when did the idea for you to abort come? Was it your idea? Was it your parents? How did it happen?
The idea of abortion came about when it was put on the table for me, where I was given a choice whether do I want to keep this child, do I want to get rid of it. And I wouldn't say before that, I would say I would have taken the, for me when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, I'm keeping this child, that's it.
And so you found out that you're pregnant and your doctor calls your mom, she sits down with you, and then she tells you what?
My doctor basically was like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell your mom. I was like, no, wait. I'll tell my mom myself. You don't have to tell my mom. And she's like, okay, no, you can go home. But because I know how close she is with my mom, I knew she was gonna tell my mom. The moment my mom got home, I knew she knew because she came with my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did she say to you?
Because she didn't have a child at a very young age, she called my aunt to step in for that because she didn't know what to say to me.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, here are the options. But honestly, I can't allow you to have a child because at the time my brother had just had a child.
Yeah.
So she was helping take care of the child. She's like, I can't afford to feed another now. Okay, so I'm 18 and no one is offering to help me take care of this child. So obviously the first option I'm gonna grab is the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was not your idea.
Yeah.
It was your aunt's idea. How did it make you feel?
I didn't feel like myself. Yeah, I didn't feel like myself because now it feels like they're putting this idea in your head. Of course, there are perks that you see it now, but you're like, no, I don't think. I see the perks of it now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I still don't think if it was my option, I could have taken the option.
So, when your mom came to you and told you, here are the options and we can't afford to feed another child, from then, like the time period between then and when you aborted, how long was that?
2 days.
2 days. And how pregnant were you?
I was 8 weeks pregnant.
8 weeks pregnant. So, did you have the privilege of going and doing it with a professional?
Yes.
Okay, and tell us about that experience, like the procedure.
Well, the procedure is actually wonderful. They really have, I would say, an extraordinary way of taking care of an 18-year-old who's pregnant, who's having an abortion. They have a delicate way of handling the situation.
Yeah.
You know, before you go in, there's someone there talking to you, giving you options of contraception, this, that, you know. Yeah, so it was an okay experience.
Did they, like, what did they use? A pill?
No, I chose not. Okay, they asked me, there were options on how to do it. And because I was 18, the doctor didn't trust that I would go fully with the pill. So we went with the surgical option, which was instantly made. I was sedated.
Yeah.
And I chose, you could choose whether to be sedated or not. I chose whether that I wanted to be sedated. I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah.
So yes, I was sedated, and then I think the procedure took 5 minutes. Yeah.
And that was that. And you came back to Bots.
Yeah.
And you're no longer pregnant.
Yes.
Did you go through counseling after that? Because I can imagine how you felt. You didn't want that to happen.
No, I didn't. But I would strongly recommend that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of distorts the way you think. Because if someone was to ask me now if I want to be a mother, I wouldn't know, because or some person actually asked me and I said, I don't know, because I saw what it could be. If I was able to take the back door without my child being here with me, what makes me think I'll be able to take care of that child when it's here? Because that's what I think now.
Yeah. When you see children though, how do you feel?
I have a lot of friends who actually have kids, and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, okay, if their parents help them take care of their kids, why wasn't I given that option? Because basically that option was script aside.
Yeah.
It's not there for you. You know. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lebo, for coming on the show and just sharing with us your story. I really hope that one day you still want to fall pregnant and still be a mom. I really do. Yeah. Well, that's Lebo sharing with us her story on abortion. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. Joining us after that is a medical doctor who's going to be sharing with us the health risks and benefits of abortion. Don't go anywhere. It's REA Online.
I'm against it.
I'm not against, I'm not even also. I'm against abortion because abortion kills. That's why I'm against.
No, I'm against it. Kore na ke feel gore botshelo how you abortion about botshelo ba motho o mongwe.
Ngwana, it's a blessing from God. So how small like o le pregnant bo simola o feel gore o santse gore o dira abortion is against mola wa modimo wa bana.
It's a privilege to live. I feel no one has the right to take that away.
When somebody is raped and you don't even want the kid.
It happens. Kera gore a ke re ga rena di ga re akanye go tshwana gone mme wa bana ba bangwe ba feel gore let's say go mo thare ipilo ka feel gore no na a ke batho go kipa ngwana wa bana so because gone o tla ba lebile gore ngwana o ha mo dibile go ngoka mo gopotsa ene monno wa mo reipileng wa bana.
Yeah, I should. No, I don't think it's right.
No, I don't believe it should be legalized. As far as I'm concerned, it's unethical. It shouldn't be legalized.
Welcome back to the show. It's REA Online, and we're still talking about abortion. And joining me is Dr. Phooko from DDT College of Medicine. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Rhea.
Yeah, we're talking about abortion.
Yes.
And we had a young lady who was just telling us her experience about it. And we just want to find out from you, I think, just to start with the basics, what are the different types of abortion?
Yes. You know, abortion is a really dreadful thing to have to go through.
Yeah.
But, you know, medically, from a medical standpoint, there's several different types of abortion, from threatened abortion to inevitable abortion to missed abortion. The most common one that we see is an incomplete abortion. I can describe all of them. A threatened abortion is essentially where there's pervaginal bleeding. Yeah. Yes, but the cervix of the woman is still closed. Yes, that way the fetus itself could still be viable. That kind of happens a lot during the first trimester of pregnancy. That's a threatened abortion.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a missed abortion is when you have fetal death, where the fetus within the uterus dies, but the body doesn't expel what's within the uterus. That's a missed abortion. Yes.
Wow, I don't know that you can have an abortion without you deciding that you're going to do it.
Yes.
I thought that's called miscarriage.
No, from a medical standpoint, miscarriage is a form of abortion.
Oh.
Miscarriage is just spontaneous abortion. Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. But the one we see the most is incomplete abortion, where, there's expulsion of some of the fetal products that are within the uterus, but a lot of times there's still some remnants in there, and therein lies the danger of actually having an abortion.
Yeah. All right. Now I know in Botswana it's illegal, but then there's one form that's legal. Please tell us about it.
Yes, in Botswana it's illegal to do elective abortion.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the one you choose.
Yes, elective means you get to choose whether you want to continue the pregnancy or whether you want to abort the pregnancy. But in Botswana, there's only specific instances where it's actually legal. Instances such as defilement, where a person has taken advantage of a minor. Also instances like rape.
Okay.
Exactly. Or an instance where a person is mentally challenged, and they were taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the only instances where it's actually allowed. Then another one is when the pregnancy itself poses a risk to the life of the mother. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what are the methods of abortion when you undertake this procedure?
It's really just one process. Exactly. First of foremost, we need to, what we do is we give you abortifacients. There's a class of drugs that actually induce labor.
Okay.
Yes. So when you take this medication, it actually forces rhythmic contraction of the uterus so that it expels what's inside. But a lot of times, you'll see that it's not essentially 100% effective. Yes, there's going to be expulsion of products of conception, the fetus, but usually there's some remnants that remain. So after you expel, we usually go up and clean the uterus up. It's called a uterine evacuation. Yes, it's a comprehensive process that really has to be undertaken by trained professionals, because it's actually quite dangerous if it's done by the lame person.
Yeah. And what are the long-term and short-term effects of abortion?
There's so many different kinds of complications that can arise from abortion itself.
Yeah.
Yes, primarily through. These are dictated by the process you go through. Exactly. First and foremost, it's the medication that you take. A lot of people get these medications on the black market, and with that, you don't really know what you're taking, do you? Your body could easily have a hypersensitivity reaction to that medication and end up killing you, right? But if by some miracle you do take, you do get those the right medications, exactly, you would expel, and you would need somebody to still clean out the uterus. Exactly. That's why you still need healthcare professionals. But with doing it backdoor by people who are not trained, you can have complications such as perforation of the uterus itself. And that's a very vascular organ. You get that, you can bleed out and die in a matter of minutes or even hours. And with the other complications involve scarring of the uterus itself, because we still have to clean it out. If it's not cleaned out properly, you can have infection, chronic infection. Yes, you can have damage from the utensils that they use to try and clean out the uterus, causing the scarring. So you can end up being infertile because of that scarring. And if you actually come to the hospital, with a perforated uterus, we do, in some instances, have to remove the entire uterus itself just to preserve your life. So it's actually quite compelling, the list of complications that can arise from undertaking an abortion without trained medical personnel. Exactly.
Doctor, you've scared me. Thank you.
I thought I had allayed some of the fears.
No, it's fine. You've scared me, and I'm pretty sure my audience is very scared. But thank you for coming on the show and just educating us on, the different ways we can prevent abortion and just the different types and methods of going through with abortion.
Yes, it's actually very, very simple. The only thing you need to do is approach a doctor.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. That's all you need to do. You really don't need to undertake this by yourself. It's a really dreadful process that no one has to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor says talk to the doctor, so I suggest that we all go and talk to our doctors and avoid this backdoor things that we do. This is us. We've wrapped up our show on the abortion topic. Please make sure you're safe. Let's be responsible. Let's avoid certain circumstances that we may find ourselves in. From me, myself, REA Copy, it is goodbye.
Alright, I'm back to Fuego.